Yo, it's a Shenanigan production.
Yeah, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Trey Shenanigans. This is the first edition of the Rainbow Table Talk podcast. If you guys don't know me already, I am a YouTuber based in the DMV. I went to high school in the 757 down in Virginia. I now live in the DMV. I post, vlogs and travel, food, all kinds of things on my YouTube channel. And now we're in another creative space. We're here on something that I've always wanted to do, a podcast. And I'm here with my co-host, Trapstar Vlogs, and Anton Parker.
I'm the king of gag orders. If you don't know me, I'm pretty sure you do know me. Anybody that's from the DMV, all the way down to the dirty south of Florida, honey, everybody knows me. I am Anton Parker, and I will be a co-host on this Rainbow Table Talk podcast. Me and my friends had came up with this, and it's originated from Jahree and Trey. And I'm just so glad to be on the show. And we're going to be talking about a lot of things, y'all. Yes, back to you, Jahree.
Yes, this is your boy Trapstar Vlogs, also known as Jahree Jones. I am a local YouTuber in the 757 DMV area. I love the 305. I'm from the 305. Hey, Carisha girl.
Hey, girl.
Today we are got some topics for you guys, and we cannot wait to share. This is our first podcast, so we want you guys to, just listen to us and give us a chance.
Please give us a chance.
Yeah, don't run us off the road.
What are you guys envisioning for this podcast? What are you guys excited about? What this podcast could lead to, or what mark this could make on our community?
Well, starting with me, I'm sorry, Jahree, if I cut you off. I see bright things for this podcast. I want us to be on a show, maybe get a deal with, any networks or anything with our podcast. I want us to travel, and I want us to interact with the LGBTQIA, ABCDEFG community. I really want us to get out there and do what we have to do as leaders, as trailblazers, as thrivers, as overachievers in our community. I really want us to get out there and seek and steal back what the devil has stole from us. Amen.
I think, for me, it's about, representation. I just feel like we are filling in a gap. And right now, as far as the community is like getting our voices out there and making sure like we're heard, but it's just not filled in, all the way.
Right.
And I just feel like this will continue to fill that line in. And I just feel like in this space, specifically podcast and uncomfortable conversations, stuff like that. There's more for that to be had in the community, and just more of our voices need to be put out there. So that is, something I'm excited about for this podcast. And I'm excited to get to know my personal YouTube audience in a way that I don't know them and they don't know me yet. So it's like, that's going to be fun. And y'all get to see a different side. With Trey Shenanigans, get to know, all of our opinions, a little bit more. And I see the vision for this podcast. Eventually we're going to have the visual. We're launching that next month, and it'll be over Zoom. But, I see the vision. I want a studio in the future, and I would also like to have it to be, a really elaborate production. I want to have live performances. We're going to interview people. So we're not going nowhere. We're here to stay.
I'm very excited for the show. I know that it's going to take us very far. I can't wait to meet, people that we bring on the show, like special guests, to be able to come up here and chop it up with us, and to be able to just get our name out there and make this brand really blow. That's what I'm excited for.
That's great.
And all the creatives, surrounding us in our community on their shit. Shout out to AJ. Shout out to Neon.
Yeah, shout out to everybody that's doing
That's
great.
doing it.
Right. Shout out to all the get money bitches out there. Get money, bitch.
Yes, let's go ahead and let's get into these social media topics, child.
What's popping on the media?
So, first of all, if y'all didn't catch it already, Reese G has left chasing.
The deadline is December 1st. I'm gonna take y'all's advice and I'm gonna just, peel back straight up. And I'm just not because I can't handle it, but because, well, I would say in some ways I can't. I'm tired of the critiques about it, about me being in front of the camera and behind the camera.
Child.
I don't know if you
Are we
guys
really going to
watch
miss him?
Chasing Dallas, the Chasing Atlanta, Chasing franchise on YouTube, Chasing Atlanta, Chasing Dallas, Chasing LA.
Mhm.
Reese has been a part of Chasing Dallas since season one.
That's
Yeah,
right.
as an executive producer and a co-star,
Hmm.
um, which the other co-stars have had a problem with since season one, it seems like. So he's now left the show because of that very reason. He said he's done with criticisms as him as an EP and a co-star, and he said he's taking accountability. He said, he's not going to come back until he said he's at a different level. That's the way he put it. Kind
Well,
of
Reese
at a different.
G, before he even got on the cast of Chasing Dallas, he was working with Ondario with Chasing Atlanta, and I believe that was
Mhm.
season 1 or 2. I don't really remember which season he was working with him on because T.S. Madison did one of their reunions, which is probably season 2.
I think that was season 2.
Right. So that means Reese G was working with him since season 1 of Chasing Atlanta. So Reese G has been in the game for quite some time now. Doing reality TV and everything like that, working hand in
Yes, he
hand with
is.
Ondario. So Reese G, I believe he's an awesome EP, and I believe he's an awesome reality TV star. But see, the thing with the people in Reese G is they're saying that he can't do both. It's too messy and it's breaking up his friendships. And they say 1 minute he wants to be a man, 1 minute he wants to be a woman, one minute he wants to dress up in drag and collect coins, 1 minute he wants to style need leaks.
Yeah.
So they really
1 minute
don't
he's
know what's
ripping the
going on.
streets of
Yeah.
running the streets with Real Housewives. That's what he said.
So they really don't know what's going on with Reese.
Well, I guess we'll find out. I'm sure this is not the last time we'll see Reese G on a reality show, whether it's on the screen or in the credits of one. Reese G Productions is over there still going, so we'll see where Reese ends up next.
I really want to get into Dave Chappelle
Okay,
this
let's get into
afternoon.
Dave Chappelle.
Well, last week, Dave Chappelle, he had a show in Nashville, and he was talking about how he was being down for the transgender discussion with the transgender community of Netflix.
Mhm.
But social media took and said that that was a lie, and that Dave said that he didn't want to meet with anyone from a transgender community. So I feel like they're trying to tear him down.
So do you feel like the trans women are trying to tear him down?
I feel like the media is trying to tear him down because I feel like Dave Chappelle, you can really tell that
They've
he's
always tried to tear him down,
yeah, he stands on his own, and I feel like they don't like that. They want him to be part of a certain society, and he's not going for that. So they're like shadow banning him. Nobody's trying to pick up on his story. Netflix just picked up on his documentary, but nobody else wasn't really willing to pick up on his story because I feel like they're scared that if they put that documentary out, that's something's going to happen to their company. Or so, do you guys feel like he's being shadow banned by the media because you really don't hear much about Dave anymore, but he still has sold out concerts and stuff?
I feel like it's kind of been like that for a few years now. I feel like they've always tried to take Dave Chappelle down in some way. It just seems like every few years there's always something in the media they're trying to, derail Dave Chappelle. But he's just one of those people. He's not going anywhere.
They be like, yo, what the fuck is it gonna take to get rid of this bitch? You can't get rid of me, bitch. I'm not going nowhere. I'm not going no fucking where.
Did you guys hear the comments he said in his comedy special? I never heard it.
The only thing I heard when he was doing his show in Nashville, he said that the transgender community of Netflix has to meet his requirements if they want to sit and talk with him.
And what was the requirement?
A time and a place of his choosing, and they must admit that Hannah Gadsby is not funny. That's what he said.
Really? It's two different things going around with him, right? Dave Chappelle right now. It's a Netflix. They have a Netflix special with him doing his comedy thing, not the one in Nashville. That was different. That was him.
Right.
That was him responding back to that, responding back to the backlash. I don't remember exactly what he said, but you know, it was just a whole bunch of mess, like negativity coming from the community.
Right.
But y'all also have to remember, it's like a catch-22 with that situation, because Dave Chappelle is a comedian.
Hmm.
You get what I'm
Right.
saying? And comedians back in the day used to say whatever the fuck they wanted to say, and nobody
Right.
had no feelings over it. Now we're living in a time and day where it's though that everything and everybody is sensitive. You know, everybody want to be the smallest person in the world. Everybody want to have the perfect face, the perfect teeth, the perfect hair, the perfect nails, the perfect feet, all this shit like that. So everybody's being sensitive these days. It's not like the 80s or early 90s. Shit, these days you got to be careful what you're saying, because you can say, you know, to speak on a community that's growing stronger
Community.
with each other worldwide, that's nothing that you should fuck with. You
Mm-hmm.
feel me? Just like the KKK, for example, they say you don't want to fuck with them, and who wants to fuck with them?
I feel like now in this day and age, everybody's voice, everybody's opinion is more accessible to each other versus then. Everybody's opinion is heard or can be heard. What you say has more reach, especially when you have a platform. And I think that's why everything is so quote unquote sensitive nowadays. People just got to be more careful what they say, you know, especially as far as communities go. And it feels like the cisgender straight world, and people even in our community, but especially like the cisgender straight world, it just seems like they always have such a problem with that. Oh, we're so sensitive. We're so sensitive. And I just don't know how true that is. I just think social media is here. Everybody's voice has more reach. Everybody's opinion has more reach, especially when you have a platform. And I think that's why a shift is happening and things are a little more sensitive. And maybe we weren't sensitive enough. You know, I don't think the 90s and 80s was this very accepting world, that, you know, and not to say we live in one now, but it's a lot more accepting than it was back then. And so, of course, it's more sensitive. I mean, you guys didn't give a shit about, you know, our community or our feelings or what we had to say. And it's like a lot of the cisgender straight world still don't, but some of you guys care, but you're still not sensitive to the things that offend our community.
It's just a game, and nowadays people can chop up things and make it seem like you said something a certain
That's
way
true.
and you really
Yeah.
didn't.
I feel like that's true as well.
Media is just a game. It's like a place where people, you can post anything. Anybody will believe anything that's on the internet, honestly.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So
That's true as well.
that's what Dave was also speaking on his show, and when he was doing his show in Nashville, that the media is very tricky. They'll make things seem one sided, and these big blogs they'll pick up on it
That's
and
very
push
true.
it out there to make it even seem more what
More
it
real.
is.
Yeah.
That's very true.
So do you guys feel like Dave is canceled?
I don't subscribe to this cancel culture. I think that
I do.
it just seems like it's just people that already didn't like X person or already wanted to take them down. I just feel like it's not going to stop the people that do like them from liking them. It's like the media might shadow ban him, like Jahree said, but the people that like him are still going to like him. I mean, they've tried it for all these years. I mean, Dave Chappelle is still here, so I mean, I don't think he's going anywhere.
I just feel like it's because they want Dave Chappelle, because he spoke on that also on an interview with Ellen. He said how the field that he's working in, like the movie scene and stuff like that, because comedians, they're attached to a lot of movies, and once Martin Lawrence and them started like wearing dresses and stuff like that, dressing up like that, and they tried to push that on Dave, and Dave really wasn't going for that. And I feel like that's what started it all, was because Dave didn't want to dress up as a female, and that's totally understandable. You can't force anybody to do anything, but it's also messed up to tear someone down and try to destroy their name just because they don't want to put on a dress for your show.
Right.
Okay, so before we move on to the next topic, how about this? Since none of us are trans and none of us heard the comments from the original special that Dave did on Netflix, our listeners, anybody that's listening of trans identity, we would love to hear some voice message responses or a message. You can simply shoot me a message, but we would love to hear, your voice message responses. And just let us know how you feel about the comments he made in regards to the trans community and what you guys thought about the special, what you guys think about this whole Dave Chappelle situation.
I think that'll be awesome. All right, moving on to the next topic. We're going to talk about Porsha Williams.
Sure.
Porsha. Everything in the topic is about Porsha. All in the blogs and media is about Porsha. Simon Guobadia, Porsha Guobadia. I believe they're already married and we're just not knowing. I believe they're married and we just don't know. Apparently, Porsha quit all her jobs. She left RHOA. She was making probably about $1.1 million a season or something around that much. She was at the bottom of the totem pole when she first started and was making roughly around $300,000 a season. But now Porsha became Porsha News, Porsha this, Porsha that, Porsha blogs, Porsha blah. So,
okay, I have a question. Was that after she dragged Kenya on the reunion?
Just about after she dragged Kenya. Then it was Porsha, and then she got a raise. And after she lied and said Candy took her down in the basement, Candy took her down her unfinished basement and fondled her child. But anyways, Porsha got a new reality TV show that I think that's going to be great. I think it's going to be Don't Be Tardy for the Party. I think it's going to be similar to that show and how many seasons and things that Kim got off of her show, because Porsha, everybody just loves Porsha right now. So, I think Andy's going to go ahead and give her that show, and she's going to stay off of RHOA for a while until she needs a little bit more money because her man let her quit all her jobs like a dumbass. Because Porsha really doesn't have a brain, in my opinion. Back to you, Jahree.
Well, I hope that this new TV show is going good. The preview seems okay. I want to know what is Porsha going to be showing that she quit all her jobs now, because wasn't she on a podcast also, a morning podcast?
She was with Ricky Smiley, but she left. Ricky Smiley, they did a whole damn show dedicated to Porsha because she was leaving. She's on there with Ricky Smiley, the brat. Jesus, what's her name? It's another
Miss Minnie Baby.
No, she left the show. She got fired.
Juicy got fired?
Yeah, you didn't know Juicy got fired? She's been on what's the other podcast show called on the internet? Big O. She's been on Big O collecting her coin.
Lord, they done shut a bet.
Yeah.
Lord Jesus. Wow, but I'm very excited to see what Porsha has to show on the show, knowing that she doesn't have any jobs now.
Yeah.
So I guess she'll just be taking.
Well, she is still selling Pampered by Porsha, Pressed by Porsha. What is it called? Pressed by Porsha, Pampered by Porsha.
And what is that about?
That's about her sheets. She do sell sheets. King and Queen, twin, extra large twin size sheets. And she does sell those. So maybe that's keeping her mortgage paid.
All right. And then there's Family Dollar. Back to you, Trey.
So, listeners, I don't really follow Real Housewives outside of clips on Instagram or catching it here and there with my aunts when they watch it, but I don't follow these girls, so I don't know a whole lot about them. However, last night I was thinking about it, and as you guys could tell, and I'm sure you guys know, Jahree and Anton are very passionate about these ladies in the Real Housewives franchise. So I was thinking, for the purposes of reviewing shows on this channel, that I will start to follow them and watch along these episodes to review. Which is a great transition to say that we will be reviewing various shows here on the podcast, scripted, unscripted, documentaries, reality shows as well, obviously. The reviews will have their own separate episodes. They won't be incorporated into the main podcast. They'll have their own dedicated episodes so we can really get in depth with each show.
So I'm sure you guys are going to be reviewing that Real Housewives spinoff with The Vacation, with like the girls from the different franchises.
Yes. They're doing Real Housewives stars, or what I call the superstars or whatever. I don't know why they put Eva Marcella on the show. They're doing all the Housewives franchises, New York, Atlanta, all of them together.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why they put Eva on there, because Eva is not an all-star.
She's not an all-star, but I heard that Marlo finally got her peach after 10 years.
Yeah, she's a peach holder.
But do you guys feel like, I'm so proud of Marlo because I love Marlo. You know how we feel about Marlo and Nene at times. But do you guys feel like they're only doing that now just because Nene is no longer on the show currently, or to fill in that spot because
I think it's time for her to. She
it
deserves
is,
it.
it
She
is.
has a lot more story to do. She's been doing a
Mm-hmm.
lot of shit
She
more.
has.
She used to have a boutique back in the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now she has another boutique called something archive, or something like that.
Yeah.
And she styles people over there, all the basketball wives. She styles a lot of people, so she's really hot. Marlo's really hot right now. But
Mm-hmm.
I also think, which is sad because it's my favorite reality show. I think it's coming to an end. I think it's ready to stop. Andy might just cut the show.
Right, because you keep switching all these people out every season. And
It's
now
like they're
she's kind of.
trickling down. I read something on social media. It's like they said they're starting to begin the replaceable Potomac as far as like the Real Housewives franchise with all black women.
Yeah, because
Well, Potomac
Potomac is
is.
hot right now.
Yeah.
It is, and I don't even watch, and I can tell they going.
There's some shady queens on that show, Trey.
Yeah.
You said, "Oh my God, I didn't know your house was all the way in the country. You're all the way at the borderline."
So yeah, of course we're gonna review Real Housewives. We're gonna review the Chasing franchise, as well as the Come Up franchise over there on Gemini Films,
I ain't watching that time.
as well as the For the Boys series over there on Slay TV. That's a great series. what you say about the Come Up, Anton?
I'm
Did
not
they find
watching
the
the
footage for it
entire
to come
show.
up?
Ain't nobody checking for Corona.
You know what? This season was an upgrade. Okay, this season was a little upgrade.
On the topic of Quran and the come up, you guys know that he did Bad Boys Club. Apparently, is what he was saying. So they
Oh,
Yeah,
saying that they cannot do the show without him because he was the first to do it.
does he own it? Does he have a trademark on the
I
name?
hope that he did. If he did, that means he better come across some money.
Right. But I'm sure Lemmy will pay him that money and go on about his business and get that show produced.
Well, Zeus is paid. Zeus, the owner.
Yeah, they pay, so that's nothing to them.
Yeah, that's nothing to them. He won't mind breaking him off. See,
Mm-hmm.
Quran allegedly they say Quran is an addict. So Quran, they will give Quran 15 grand, and Quran will be dancing and tap dancing all through Orlando.
Child.
Oh God.
Now, since we're already talking about it, might as well transition into it. Bad Boys Club. Yes. Zeus and Natalie Nunn are going to be producing this show, this spinoff from Baddies ATL. Apparently, it's been greenlit, according to Lemmy's story and Natalie's story. They said it's greenlit. They did a poll on Instagram. Everybody voted for it. So it seems like they're going forward with this show.
Yeah.
I think it's a long time coming. If you're a long time fan of Bad Girls Club, especially the LGBT community within the Bad Girls Club fan community, y'all know we've been clamoring for this for a long time. Of course, Karan had his version of it on YouTube, but I think we've all been envisioning one produced by a major network like that of a Zues Network. Back then, of course, he wanted auction to do it. They passed up on that, but now we're finally getting it in a big way, and I think it's pretty cool. It's more representation. It's more of our faces on the screen.
Of course, in the wrong way.
In the wrong way. They're going to be fighting. That's all they want to go up there to do. I'm telling you, that's all they want to go up to do. I don't care what anybody says. These people, this LGBT community is terrible. They just want to be 5 minutes and they want to fight because everybody's posting scenes about how they're going to be fighting up there. If that's what you're going up there for, it's no need to promote something like that, honestly.
I don't want none of my people that I know going on that show because all they're going to be doing is fucking
Acting a
and sucking.
fool.
All they're going to be doing is fucking and sucking on that show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
I mean, I don't know how it's gonna go. However, no matter how it goes, this is an opportunity for the cast members, the boys that come up here, to show the world, their personalities. It's a showcase for them. It's an opportunity for them to take this light that is being shed upon them and take that and use it to propel their brand and their music or whatever it may be that they're doing. This is an opportunity to propel that. So I think that's dope. I hope they don't just go up there and just fight and just go back to being stagnant. I hope they do make something of it. I'm excited to see what comes of it. we've been able to see over the years how a lot of the former bad girls have been able to sustain and create a brand of themselves and be able to go make money on appearances, etc. You know, some of them more than others, but who knows what can happen. We see the Natalies and the Tanishas, the Megan James of the world, the Dream Dolls. Like, these girls started on Bad Girls Club. Their first major exposure to an audience was on Bad Girls Club, and you see that they're still going now. So who knows? Of course, it's more production opportunities for the people on the crew. It's another show out there for Zues to add into their list.
Zues is bringing in scripted series, they're bringing in documentaries, they're bringing in all that. So
Yeah, but
Zues
Zeus
is going up.
feels like a spinoff. It's just a whole bunch of spinoffs. They're just collecting check after check because after they do these shows, you never hear about them again. When are we going to see another Jocelyn Cabaret? When are we going to see another season?
Well, those shows are coming out.
Season 3 of Jocelyn's Cabaret is green lit. They just had the audition. Season 2 of Baddies is green lit. They're gonna be in Miami. They is not going nowhere.
I feel like Zeus is just a spinoff show, and they are making bank because people are tuning into the bullshit, but it's really not a storyline pickup. It's just all the shows on Zues Network. All you see are the girls fighting. Nobody's really trying to do.
I agree with that. And that's why I think it's cool that he's going to change the narrative with scripted series and documentaries and all that's coming. So I think that's cool that he's going to diversify it because it is kind of one narrative kind of going on right now. But guess what? That one narrative is very entertaining. I don't know if y'all saw the conversation with Akbar and Tommy Lee.
I need to pay my Zeus bill.
Oh my God.
They surprised me. Well, at least Akbar did. Akbar, she was calm, she was collected, she was willing to, come together and be on some cool shit. She was on her growth shit. Now, Tommy, yikes, Tommy, she was like way twisted way before they even got out, like in the living room to do the conversation. She was already twisted. She was drunk. She was carrying on. She was arguing with her crew. Like, she was running outside the house before they even met for the conversation. Tommy was carrying on. And when they got in the conversation, what you think? She wasn't changed. She was still on her same Tommy shit. She was wanting to fight. She wasn't even trying to have a sit down heart dog. Like, she just wanted to just carry on. She wanted to fight. Like, she just came like she already wanted to fight. Akbar, I'm proud of you, girl. I'm proud.
Who is it? Akbar who? V?
Akbar V and Tommy Lee.
Akbar no. Akbar no.
But yeah, I think it is like a certain narrative, a certain common denominator with all the Zeus shows with this fighting and shit. But I do think that'll change. I don't think that's gonna stay the same forever. I think Lemmy does want to diversify the kinds of shows that they have, and he said that in interviews.
They're not saying anything about anybody's age, but the people that own Zeus, they're very young, and I feel like
Right, and I think that's dope. Young and black.
dope. But like you said, I hope they change the narrative. I really do, because
They will. I do believe
it was just, I feel like they thought that fighting and people fussing, it definitely did get them views. It definitely did get them.
Yeah, and that's what Lemuel said in one of the interviews. They had to go where the money's at. The people want to see all this ratchetness, this messiness. That's where the money's at. And then take that and invest it in some documentaries and the scripted series, etc. He played the game.
Let's see if he's still going to play the game smart, because I honestly feel like every episode it was just a fight. For every TV show that was on Zues Network, it was just fights after fights after fights. And I feel like I don't know what audience he's trying to reach out to. Like I said, he's still making his money at the end of the day, but it just comes off like all the shows that come off as messy because you don't see anybody really do anything. Like Jocelyn Cabaret, I thought it was going to be about something else. These hoes up there fighting every day.
I personally am not a fan of Jocelyn's Cabaret. I'm not a fan of Jocelyn's Cabaret for the very same reason that you're not a fan of it. The reason I like Baddies is partially due, in fact, to the fact that I've watched them for so long now. It's been like over 10 years. And it's just interesting to follow their journey all the way from then to now. It's been interesting to see, how they grow and change. And it's also, the other part of it is I'm interested to see where this new series in this new franchise with Zeus can go, and how they can take the popularity of Bad Girls and turn that into something new and turn it into this brand and franchise of their own. Thus far, you know, they did Baddies season 1. Season 2 is green lit. They got Baddies Code, the little side show on Natalie's YouTube. And Bad Boys has now been green lit. So thus far, you know, they got multiple different things going. And it's just one of those things. We'll see where all of this goes. Time will tell. Big ups to Natalie for you know, being ahead in this whole thing, and big ups to Lemmy for giving out these opportunities to all these creators, even Jocelyn and Chance. You know, big ups to them for giving this creative freedom to them and providing the platform.
Oxygen is going to sue the fuck out of
Oxygen is really going to do that. And honestly, with the Baddies ATL, they keep saying, I know what you're saying, Trey, and I know you.
What are they going to sue them for?
They're
Huh?
going to sue them. What do you see what they're going to sue them for? Since they're on the fucking concept. And the manual knows that. They're going to sue the fuck out of them.
But they own Baddies though. Baddies ATL.
The concept. They don't own that. Oxygen came up with that. Oxygen is dying down. You don't really hear nobody talking about I'm ready to go to Oxygen Network and watch it.
Yeah, because Bad Girls was holding them together. I don't know why they did that to themselves. Cancel them.
But the reason why they canceled is because well, if you know, they had through the Claremont's twin. You know how they destroy all the
that whole situation.
Yeah, so
they put that on themselves. Did y'all know how messy the Bad Girls production was?
And
they was messy as shit.
So that's why it's hard for me to believe that Natalie Nunn is trying to take Baddies to a different height, because you know another girl that was on Baddies, I forgot her name, the Caucasian lady. What is her name?
Who? There's so many.
She was on the show.
Sarah?
Yeah, Sarah. Oh. She had made a little clip or whatever. She was basically
we saw that.
You know, yeah, how Natalie, they want to push it one way, but then they're getting up there, they writing out scripts. It just doesn't seem real. It just seems like everything is now just like all set up on scripts and stuff. She's like, all the stuff that you're seeing is scripted, like, you know.
Yeah, Sarah's one. You gotta watch Sarah. She's one, but it's like one of those things. I will see how it plays out, because Natalie, she is Natalie at the end of the day. But she has grown up.
Well, Baddies fans will see how it all plays out. Like I said, Baddies season 2 will be in Miami. I will be reviewing it here on the podcast.
I'm going to be looking at Baddies a different way, Trey, because I want to listen to you, and I want to, you know, because what you're saying, you know, you do have you see a different vision for Baddies. So I will take my time to make an account for Zues, and I'll, you know, look at it, you know, just to see.
Okay, cool. Bet. I'll give you my account info. Save you that little $5 a month.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now, listeners. Hey, listeners. Are there any bad boys out there? If you guys didn't catch Natalie's post, she asked you guys to tag any bad boys that you think should be on the show. So how about this? This is all for shits and giggles, but at the end of the day, we are going to post this and we are going to tag Zues and Natalie. So who knows who might see this? If you a bad boy, if you trying to be on Bad Boys Club, what makes you a bad boy? If you're a BGC fan, you know that's what they always ask. What makes you a bad girl? So I'm asking, what makes you a bad boy? And why do you think you would be a great fit for this show? I want you guys to send in voice messages. I want you guys to send in videos. Like I said, we will post them. We will tag Zues and Natalie. It's all for shits and giggles, but who knows if they'll see it? Who knows if this will lead to you being on our screens or not? It's no telling. But I'm curious, as a fan of Bad Girls and as a fan of Zues, what makes you a bad boy? So definitely send in those voice messages. Definitely send in the videos. We'll feature and react to them on the podcast next week.
You're right. And we're going to be doing it on our Instagram account also, right? Like posting their videos and tagging Zues, and right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Man, go sit your goofy ass down. That goofy ass shit.
So Goofy Shit is a segment where we take some topic, some story, some situation that happened within the recent weeks that was just some goofy shit. You know, some people, they just do some goofy ass shit. Some donkey of the day ass shit. What's up, Charlemagne? This segment is inspired by Donkey of the Day. So, you know the vibes. Now, with that being said, Asia Hashang, Hashangdami Steele. Sorry if I mispronounced that, girl. That's a hard name. This post comes from Facebook. Asia, as my co-host Anton Parker would say, you on the docket, girl, because this was some goofy ass shit. If you guys don't know, aren't aware, a new Superman hack came out recently, and in the comics, Superman is bisexual. They reported it on the news, and Asia took a picture of the breaking news and took to Facebook to say this.
To each is its own. I want to know, why are they forcing this on my sons and daughters? I want them to see Superman as a hero, not worried about that is going on in and coming out of his backside.
That's exactly what she said.
Not worried about that is going in and coming out of his backside.
You should have proofreaded that, girl.
I feel maybe it's time for a special station, like how we got Telemundo for the Spanish community, for people who want their kids to think about their sexuality under the age of 15 is beyond me. I don't want my kids watching this, getting curious and playing with theirs or somebody else's private areas because they see it on TV. I don't see why kids think they should be thinking about that type of stuff. For the first time, I understand the Amish community.
Now, girl, why you include the Amish community in your goofy ass shit? Okay, Miss Asia girl, first of all, the only one worried about what is going in and out of Superman's backside seems to be you, because I can assure you that there is no picture or image in that comic book of Superman having intercourse. I'm sure the interaction goes nothing past the kiss that you took a picture of. And second of all, nobody is forcing anything on your sons or your daughters. If that's the case, say the same and keep that same energy for every straight kiss or sexual interaction that is on so many Disney Channel shows, so many cartoons, so many shows that are intended for kids. There is straight sexual interaction as far as kissing or romantic relationships. Keep that same energy, because like I said, nobody's forcing anything on your kids. And every sexuality, every orientation deserves to be represented so that these kids can understand themselves and not feel like an outcast, not feel like they're weird or something's wrong with them. That's why representation matters. None of this is going to make your kid want to be any more sexual. Witnessing gay representation is not going to make your kid gay. Did witnessing straight representation, which there is more than enough of on television, did that make me straight? No, I still came out gay, miss. Even trying to deny it, even trying to be down low like so many people in my community, I still turned out gay. So if none of that straight imagery made me straight, why would any gay imagery make your kid gay? If your kid is straight, they will be straight. If your kid is gay, they will be gay. If they're bi, they will be bi. If they're trans, they will be trans. The reason why this comic book, the reason why they should have a bisexual Superman, the reason why there should be representation for gay and LGBTQIA plus representation on TV is so that there is more acceptance and understanding in that we're just regular people. You see, Asia, I'm not dragging you, sis. Well, I take that back. I am. But I'm also trying to educate you. So I hope you learn something through this.
Man, go sit your goofy ass down. That goofy ass shit.
Did you guys hear about Billy Porter?
What happened with
Billy Porter slams Vogue over Harry Styles' dress cover.
he did what?
You guys know about
I
Harry
seen
Styles
something
wearing a
about
dress?
that. What happened?
Child. Allegedly, Billy said that he was the first to wear a gown. But I did my research, bitch, and that was definitely a gag. Because in 2000, Matt Stone and Terry Parker were the first and second people to wear a gown to the Oscars.
Wow.
So that's why Billy Porter is on the goofy shit. Because Billy, I want to let you know something, okay? That's one thing we have with the LGBT community. We tear each other down instead of lifting each other up. So what if you wore a dress after you wore your dress? Just know that you're just like how Matt and Trey open up doors for you, you'll open up doors for Harry.
Right.
So just think about that. When you're mad, I don't know if you're mad because you didn't get on the cover, you didn't make it for the cover, or if you're, because that's what it just seems like. And I understand where he's coming from, but obviously he didn't do his research, but I did. But, you don't just go and tear people down like that. I feel like that was something that Billy should have been happy about, since he claimed that
Yeah,
he was the first one to wear the gown. So if you see
you should
somebody
have
else,
been
just
happy
because
for
it's
him.
on Vogue, and Vogue is a big magazine, yes, I get why. And maybe they didn't call you, maybe because you didn't fit the criteria. But you can't get mad. Everything is not for you. Yeah, you open up doors for other people wearing the gown for the third time.
You've done so much. Your role on Pose, like you have open doors,
Yeah, you
Lily.
open
So
doors, and
you
then
don't
like
gotta
the
feel no
jackass.
way about nobody else.
Child.
Man, go sit your goofy ass down. That goofy ass shit.
My goofy shit on the list is, and I always have to stay on the messy side.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna take it back to RHOA, and Greg Leaks has died. He's passed away. And we're gonna have a moment of silence for
Yeah,
Greg.
we will. Let's go ahead. We're going to do 20 seconds for Greg starting now.
ABB a la Shondoro Adodosa. Okay, so I also wanted to say that Cynthia Bailey and Nene Leakes hasn't been friends after a whole while, and apparently she popped up and asked Marlo to bring her into the Lanitia Lounge to comfort Nene in her time of need, and Nene calls all the Real Housewives of Atlanta
Mm-hmm.
stars broke because they didn't bring anything to comfort Nene. She calls them broke and everything of that nature. Do y'all think that's some goofy shit with Cynthia trying to, become friends with Nene again and comfort her? And Nene Leakes went on the talk show this morning.
This morning, I saw that this
Yeah,
morning.
and she called the Real Housewives of Atlanta girls broke.
Well, I feel like what they did when it came to the flowers, and I don't know if you're going to talk about that just yet, but that was
We can
goofy.
talk about that.
Um, okay, well, I want to first start off with Cynthia because you brought up Cynthia. So I feel like it's not really kind of goofy about, well, I don't know what Cynthia's intentions were, but I feel like from when we watched the show, how her and Nene were really like sisters. So if something were to happen to Greg, and when things did happen to Greg, Cynthia was always there on the show. She was always there.
Yeah, but was she
But
there on the show or was she there in real life?
right,
So that's
right.
why I'm
And that's what I
calling
was about to say. That's what I was about to say. And that's a good point. That I don't know if she was there behind the scenes when the cameras went around.
it. Right.
But when the cameras were rolling, she was always putting an effort to be there for Greg and Nene.
Right.
But also, I remember from, I think it was 2 seasons ago, when Nene had that no wig party.
Mm.
And when she was going through stuff, Nene, the first person she called was
Marlo.
Marlo. She didn't call Cynthia. So now that you say that, that does kind of like, ring a bell, because, her and Cynthia were like sisters. I know her and Marlo were kind of friends, but, throughout those seasons, it was really just Nene and Cynthia. So for her to call her Marlo before she called on Cynthia, I
That's a
kind of see what
mistake.
you're saying now about, behind the scene, in front of the camera or not in front of the camera, what was she supporting? I
Right.
do find it a little tacky, and yes, it was tacky for the Real Housewives of Atlanta women to put $200 together for a bouquet of flowers. I feel like all the ladies have $200 in their account where they could have ordered some
That is
flowers.
fuck. I
I do find that a little tacky, and if you guys are really going to support, you guys did that with well, you know what? Now that I think about it, because Nene did do that when it was time for Sheree to dance. They all put $50 in, and Sheree said that she knew that all of them had more money they could have heard,
That's what
raised
I
her
was
like
ready to
that.
say. I was just ready to elaborate on that. But see, that's a different, all right, not really different situation. Even Candy called that because Candy was like, Candy got money and
Hmm.
Candy donates to charity. She loves
Hmm.
donating. She loves helping. And she was like, let's all put in like $4,000 together or something like
Right.
that. She said, and then he said $4,000. Everybody put 50 in, and she said, Candy, you better not put more than 50. So Candy
Child.
was
Well, I
like,
guess that's what they
Candy
did
went
with the
behind her
bouquet.
back and put in $4,000. That's the only way Sheree made it.
Child. Well, I guess they, maybe that's what the Real Housewives, maybe that's what they do. They like to pitch in. They like to split the bill. But
Right.
kind of a little bit tacky. They could have showed a little bit remorse, or they could have showed a little bit more sympathy for Greg, because it's not just for Nene, it was for Greg also. And I feel like everybody had
Well,
their own relationship with Greg on that show.
well, the Escape did a whole tribute for Greg and did
No, I know.
Is My
Oh,
Living in
yeah.
Vain?
Well, I'm not. I
And Candy
understand.
said, no, no, no.
We just want
Yeah.
to let the podcast know that that was goofy, and we will next season. I mean, next show, Real Housewives. You guys will be back on because we're not done with this talk. It's a lot to
And we're
talk
not.
about that because that was really
Yes.
raunchy for you guys to do that. I feel like everybody has
Yes.
$200 in their account to buy their own bouquets.
Did y'all want to talk about Bobby Lytes and Rolling Way?
Once again, I know Zeus. I know at this point you're probably tired of me coming for you, but I just feel like there was no point of having that one. I mean, I understand what what you guys were trying to do, but Bobby Lights and Roland Ray, man, I could probably see Saucy Santana and Roland Ray. But as for Bobby Dykes, I think he should just stay on his OnlyFans and Twitter.
I think you should too. I think that they should have just did Santana and Roland Ray with that event going on. But I do understand Roland Ray to a certain extent because I am from the DMV area, grew up in DC and Maryland.
He's
So
very
he's
DMV.
just extra. That's how we are there. You know, he's going to say the first thing that comes to his mind with no second guess.
That's the
That's just how
DMV.
we are. If you know me, then you know that's how I am. So I understand him. So he said that's why he said when not Santana, when Bobby Light said, "Can you get out of my face?" Telling him to get out of my face, and he said, "I bet they won't," because he know that they won't. Honey, if you had a disability, you're gonna get his check. His check gonna go out. So keep on trying to fuck with the disability.
I mean, it's just very clear. Both of them, they there for the check, they there for the airtime, and they just gonna do what they did and laugh and go at each other. It's just very clear. And I think Saucy Tanner would have made more sense because the beef was a little more. It was a little more to it than this Bobby shit. It was just kind of some social media shit.
See, Bobby was acting a little too Hollywood on this trailer that I seen. He was trying to act like he was too good to fuss with Roland Ray, but he wasn't too good too long ago.
Right. See, and my thing what the situation was, they was using rehearsed reads. Like Kaya read them already. Bobby Dykes, saying Bobby Dykes, that was Kaya. Like, okay, we didn't want to see that. We really wanted to see y'all get into something new, something fresh, new color. But they wanted to see getting into the same shit, you know?
Yeah.
I think the conversation it has potential. It's like a hit or miss thing, but I do like the concept and the potential conversations we could have in the future. I think this one was just a little funny little addition. It'll be so we'll see what that's hitting for. Okay, so Little Nas X and Boosie. This
I
situation.
told you long ago.
I just want to be the daily scoop. It's very clear he didn't lie. Lil Nas, he clearly has social media by the boss. He has Boosie by his boss. He knows how to get a reaction out of this man. Boosie, you keep falling into the trap. I just don't get it. Like, what is your anger against Little Nas? I mean, he's out here, he's doing him. So why don't you just do you? I don't understand why you're so moved, so offended. Like, why do you feel the need to continue to say these slurs, these hateful messages? Like, I don't really get it. Now, Nas, I don't really get why you poking the bear. But at the same time, I know he trolls and he likes to troll and he says that he likes to troll. So he owns his shit. So at the end of the day, we know what it is with Nas. And it's like, at this point, Boosie, you should know too. So it's like, I don't understand why he felt like he had to say something. Lil Nas, I don't really understand why you felt like you wanted to poke the bear, but I understand that you're on this trolling shit and that's just what you do. You want to be the daily scoop.
Shoot.
So but it's ridiculous. But the words that came out of out of Boosie's mouth is just very clear, like very homophobic and very homophobic.
Yeah, he comes off as that way, but I kind of understand where he's coming from with the whole BET thing and kissing on live television. Because what Boosie said, it's not the wrong way the music; it's the music videos, and he knows that these kids But Lil Nas, he doesn't have nothing to do with that people allow their kids to watch him. But I feel like knowing that he has a big fan base starting off from Old Town Road, it started off with a lot of kids really, putting that song on the map. I just feel like he could have put that in a different direction, not swinging on a pole from heaven on his way down the hill on the Satan's lap.
What about the WAP? What about the Megan twerking in every shot in her
Yeah, that was
video?
wrong
What
too.
about
But we were talking about Boosie and Nas. But yeah, that was none of that stuff is right. None of that stuff is right. But like Nas said, he can't control who follows him. Only thing he has to do, he's push his brand. So I
and,
understand that.
and I don't believe it's any one of these artists' jobs to cater to anybody's kids.
Right.
To be honest, it's the parents' job to cater to what their kids are watching and what they're tapping into.
Mm-hmm.
Let me come in on a little bit on that, guys. I do understand with both of y'all point of view, but I like to play devil's advocate a little bit. But my thing about the situation is, okay, if we're looking at it from the parents' point of view, what the parents have to understand, like you said, Trey, the celebrities are not raising your children. You train up a child, and the Bible says, train up a child in which way they should go, so that way they won't depart from the Lord. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and I grew up in the church. My granddad's a pastor and everything like that. I'm not saying that they didn't train me right. It just, that's what was in me. I feel like I was born to be this way. So nothing that I see or nothing that somebody can do can persuade me to do something else. Just like, for instance, I don't like to smoke weed. You get what I'm saying? So me being around smoking weed is not going to persuade me to smoke weed because I'm already not going to do that. You get what I'm saying? So if you're going to teach your child the right way to go, teach your child the right way to go, so that way they know not to be peer pressured. So by him swinging down that pole, I mean, it was, I said, damn, nice. But I mean, I don't think it was appropriate. You get what I'm saying?
It wasn't.
I said, swing on this pole, honey.
I feel like this has been going on for a while now. I'm so over it. I wish they would just stop.
Yes, because now the family's getting involved. Lil Nas' brother then went on social media and said that Boosie is mad because he's only worth $800,000 and Lil Nas is on his way to being a billionaire child. We're like,
so Lil Nas X's father first went on his Instagram story and responded to Boosie. He said, "How the hell are you a gangster rapper promoting drugs, guns, violence, degrading women, and getting high every video talking about you're the kid's man? Sit your old man looking ass down. The game has passed you. We real bankhead over here. Not like the guys who claims it."
Not real bankhead.
Not the game passed you. Yeah.
And then Lil Nas X brother, he went on his Twitter and he tweeted, "My brother on his way to being a billionaire at 22, and that's why Boosie mad. LOL. I'll be mad at Lil $800,000 at Boosie official."
Okay, so what does the brother bank account look like?
Whatever Nas got in the bank.
Okay.
And he said, "And I bought your movie, Boosie. Shit was trash."
I didn't really necessarily. I couldn't really get into it because I really don't like. I'm not saying low. I want to do a movie, and my movie might be low budget, but it'll be low budget supreme. Okay, because I do not like watching those type of movies because it's all the sound and the static, and I can't do that. I have ADHD. So by the time I hear the mic stattling and stuff, I'll be getting up.
Mm-hmm. This is getting out of control. I mean, I feel like, okay, they did their tit for tat, but now I feel like the fans and people on social media know that it's getting to Boosie, so they even made cartoons with Boosie, acting like he was ejaculating to Lil Nas on the video on the computer.
Oh, God.
And then they said that allegedly that Boosie had to get rushed to ICU.
It's just, at this point, that's what it's given. Like, I have straight men in my life, I have straight men in my family. Confident, secure straight men don't give this much of a fuck about and other sexualities, what they got. They don't care that much. So it's just like, what's going on with that? It's like, I don't know if he did something in his past and it's like eating at him, or if he's doing it now, or if he just has that hate in his heart. Maybe he didn't do nothing, but it's something's not.
Another one bites the dust. Because that's what's really going on. Because maybe somebody I don't know, maybe he fondled a little bit in jail or something. Somebody put a flag on his ass and made him his bitch or something.
They
It's
just need to stop
tiring.
picking at
It's
each other.
draining.
I feel like, I mean, I
Right.
feel like, but sometimes we have to think about it. We might see it as one thing, but we got to think about it. Because I was thinking about this the other day. The media works in, like, some people will really work close together. You might think they're really beefing, but they're probably doing it to help each other out with, viewers going to listen to their music or shows.
I was thinking about that, and I was like, the ultimate troll. Like, what if these niggas really did come out with a song together, and all this shit
Right. Because I
was?
have a feeling that I have a
I
feeling
highly
that they
doubt it,
probably
but who
talked.
knows? Who
That they
knows? Who
talked
knows
already.
the way this shit is set up, and especially the people involved. Who knows?
I mean, if they came out with the song, they came out with the song. What else is going on?
Yeah. Well, I just want to let you guys know that it is true. That it's not alleged. It is true. Little Boosie net worth is roughly $800,000.
Damn.
Not
Right.
rough. Damn. So he.
Okay, so let me do this real quick because we did do the IG responses to it. So we asked you guys what you thought about the Lil Nas X Boosie situation, and here is what you guys had to say. Only one .fg, shout out to you, girl. We went to high school together. She said, "I feel as if Lil Nas X do too much trolling. He want a reaction out of Boosie, and he barked." What do y'all think about that?
I mean, I feel like they both trolled each other because they were both going back and forth on the internet. But if it did start with
Right,
Boosie started it. Now he should have known what he
right.
got himself into. Now that Lil Nas, now I see it from a different point of view now because Boosie did start with Nas first. He didn't have. I
Mhm.
understand he had his opinion, and I feel like just because he has a platform, he felt like that was the right thing. I mean, anybody can voice their opinion. I'm not saying anybody can't, but he knew what he was getting. Well, now he know what he's getting himself into because
Right.
Lil Nas and his fans, they're not letting up on Boosie. Bad breath.
At all.
I just think that really it just this situation. This shit is really dumb.
It's
But
draining,
guys
dog.
understand that Little Nas is young. He's 22. We're
Mhm.
his age. You get what I'm saying?
Right, right.
So, and he's a new school reader. We're old queens. We old reads. We know how to read old school, new school. But he's a new, so he's quick with his reads. So he's
Mm-hmm.
gonna get under your skin. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So he
With
knows how
that
to quick
trolling.
to get under his skin. So that don't bother him.
Mm-hmm.
He the one probably putting out the cartoons. He probably want to do it with Boosie. I don't know.
Okay, so Bobby the Barbie say he's a homophobic man. That's all.
But Boosie is not homophobic because he does have
What?
he has a gay assistant. He even recorded that and
That
showed
is
everyone
not
that.
homophobic.
I mean, because he said, but the manager, I mean, the assistant said that Boosie respects him. Maybe it's just something that Little Nas, with the videos that probably triggered Boosie. Like he said, he was like, that's your music, but if you're making these music videos, but at the same time, Lil Nas shouldn't have to be, second guess about what he wants to post
Mm,
because whatever these people choose to listen to and watch, that's up to them.
right. That's interesting. I didn't know he had a gay assistant.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's
That's
all.
even more of a telltale sign that what is he so mad about and what's behind that? Because if you have a gay assistant, he's assistant and saying he respects him and all this. What? I don't. Where are you getting so up
He has a
and
gay
mad
assistant,
about?
and he also has gay people playing in his movie. But what else is going on?
He is Zay on IG. Shout out to Zay. He said he didn't deserve all that. AJ the rapper. Shout out to motherfucking AJ, the definition of a real nigga. He said Nas X should stop entertaining Boosie. He is homophobic and it's not a good look. I agree with that, AJ. I agree. Boosie should also stop entertaining him. They just both should stop entertaining each other. Like, and then Nubian. Shout out to Nubian, the Tea and Cocktails alumni. He said someone locked Boozy up because he a hating ass, jealous ass bitch because he talked too much. Damn, Nubian. He went in. Brandy the Barbie, shout out to Brandon. He said, I think they are equally wrong. Nas no better than to fuck with Boozy. Facts. Everybody, everybody spoke back. Oh, Trapstar Vlogs right here. He said, "Child Lil Nas X YZ." He said, knew what demon he was dealing with, but Boozy didn't have to go so hard.
Not demon.
Not
Yeah.
XYZ. Okay,
They just both
so
need to just let it go. I mean, I understand why
yeah,
Boosie's probably still going. He's trying to raise his net worth, but
All right. So we did get one voice message. And we do encourage you guys to send in voice messages to these polls. That is even better than a regular message. But if you want to just shoot a regular message, that's fine as well. This one is from Jahree. How you say? Dream the Doll. On Instagram. Shout out to you.
Get money, bitch.
And this is what he had to say.
Hey, Dream Doll, this is my opinion on this situation. It's just clear that little Loosie Boosie badass, I don't think he's homophobic. I just think he's fighting demons. I think he's a homosexual. He's not homophobic, he's a homosexual. Every time it's something concerning a gay person, he always have to bring up sexual things. Like, he just do the most. Anytime he only makes the blogs when he talk about gay people. Something ain't right. I don't know.
I love that energy. I want to have him on the show. I would love to have Dream on the show. What do you guys think?
He'll come on the show. I'll call him.
That'll be nice.
I agree with him. I agree. I don't know what's going on with that, but it's just like every time you got to bring him up. All right. So I want to thank everybody for listening. If you stayed tuned for this far, thank you so much for tuning into the first edition of the Rainbow Table Talk. We will be back very soon with reviews, more celebrity news, more controversial topics. We're going to be asking you guys questions. Definitely send in what makes you a bad boy voice messages. We would love to hear them next week. And this has been real. This has been very good. I want to thank my co-host for joining, for being a part, and I'm very excited for this project and now into the future. Anything you guys want to say to that, add to that? Anything you guys want to leave off for next week before we do the question?
Good money, bitch. Good morning, girlfriend.
All I want to say is Candy's always saying, you don't know that.
So every week here on the podcast, we're going to close out with a question of the day that we're going to leave with you guys to answer, and we'll read your responses or play your responses if it's a voice message next week on the next episode of the podcast, and we'll give our thoughts on the questions and what we have to say back to them. So starting off with either one of you guys, what question would you like to leave our audience off with today?
My question of the day is, would you suck a raw dick or would you leave it whole? Say no.
Okay.
You're so fucking ignorant.
Say no. My question of the day is, what are you guys doing to better your lives?
Okay. If there could be one moment that you can play back on your life, what would it be and why? And what would you change, or would you leave it the same?
That's great.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's really good. My question of the day is, do you guys think there is a gay agenda right now in the media? And do you think it's a good thing, or do you think it's a bad thing if there is?
That's a good one, Trey. That's a good one. I might just call in on that one.
Yeah, we all going to give our thoughts next week. I can't wait to hear what you guys say. And I can't wait to answer your guys' questions. Those were good questions. And I can't wait to see the responses. But anyway, I want to thank everybody again. And this has been Trey Shenanigans. And we signing out. We'll see you on the next motherfucking edition of the Rainbow Table Talk. Yes.
Bing bong. All right.
All right, girl.
All right. Bye, queens.
Bye, queens. Bye, old girl.
Bye.
Yo, it's a Shenanigan production.